a winning area regardless of market direction. Now, during a downtrend, the thinking is exactly the same. Just flip around a little bit. You're going to be bearish on stocks or the market because, again, most stocks move lower during market downtrends. Now, since stocks have a 50-50 probability of going higher or lower, how do you increase your probability? Well, in this case, we're going to pick a price above the current stock or market price. Okay? So now you have an area where the stock is more likely to be and less likely to be. And as long as the market or stock stays in the green, you win. Now, you can set up the same probabilities as before. Probability changes depending on how much room you give the stock to move. Now, the SPX paycheck actually has two trades. One starts with about a 65% probability, the other starts with about an 80% probability. Now, during the income challenge, you're going to learn the trade with a 65% probability. Now, you might be thinking, well, why not the 80%? Then I have an even greater chance of winning. And that is true. But there is a little more involved in managing that trade. The 65% trade is simple to set up, it's simple to manage, and it performs amazingly over time. In fact, if it makes you feel any better, I also do the 65% probability trade. I actually do that one as well. All we do when the market's in a bearish is we just flip things over. Okay? Now, let's talk about the trade setup. Remember, as I said before, it's okay if you don't understand all of this right now. You don't need to understand it specifically. When the market is bullish, we're going to use things called puts. Okay? And what this trade does is we sell a put and we buy a put at the same time. Now, that put that we buy, we call this your insurance because it protects you. It limits the amount you can lose and makes this an even more low-risk trade. You risk a lot less money. Now, both of these trades will be on the same order. This newly created spread has a price, and it trades exactly like a stock does. It goes up, it goes down, and you can enter it one day, exit another day. It's just like trading anything else. This is called a bull put credit spread. And the name is beautiful. It's bull because it's something you do when the market is bullish. It's put because we're doing with puts. And it's a credit spread because you get paid to place the trade. Now, when the market is bearish, we use a thing called calls. And in this trade, we are going to sell a call and we are going to buy a call at the same time. Now, that call that we buy, again, we refer to this as your insurance policy because it protects you. It limits risks. It limits risk, and it also makes the trade easier to place as a new options trader. It protects you. It adds a hedge to the trade. Now, this is called a bear call credit spread. And again, both of these are going to be placed with the same order. The newly created spread, again, has a price. It trades just like a stock does. I can enter the trade on a Monday. I can exit on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It doesn't matter. It's just like any other trade. Okay? Now, the bullish trade on the left, we're going to simultaneously sell a put and buy a put. And we're going to do this on the SPX, the S&P 500 cash index. Over on the right, the bearish trade, we're going to sell a call above the current market price, and we're going to buy a call higher than that. The bear call credit spread. Now, part 3, opening and closing the positions. Let me explain to you how this trade actually works underneath the hood, so to speak. When you have a winning trade, when you enter the market, you are going to get paid. Now, it's a little bit different than when you buy stock and you have to pay. When you enter this, a credit spread actually pays you up front. So don't think about money right now. I have little dollar signs here. When you enter the market, they give you $2 signs. When you exit the trade with profits, you're actually going to pay back. In this case, $1 sign. You're going to collect $2 signs when the trade opens. If there's profits, you're going to pay back $1 sign, and that leaves you with $1 sign in profit. Now, if you think that's a little corny, let's put some real numbers to it. So when I open a trade, I get paid $2,500. Now, that $2,500 is not mine to keep, okay? When I enter a trade, I have a trade on, all right? That trade goes up and down in price every day until I exit the trade. My goal is to exit the trade by paying half of what they paid me when I entered. They paid me $2,500 when I entered the trade. To close it, I'm going to give back $1,250, and I'm going to walk away with a $1,250 profit. Okay? That's how a winning trade works. Now, a losing trade in a credit spread is this. When I enter the trade, I'm still going to get paid. But when I close the trade, I'm going to give back both of those dollar signs, and I have to reach into my pocket for another one. That's how I have a loss. So again, to put some money into this for you, I enter the trade, I collect $2,500. Now again, that's not like free money. I have a trade on. That money does not become mine until I exit the trade. In this case, when I exit the trade, I have to pay $3,750. Now, it's not as bad as it looks because $2,500 of that is what I got paid when I entered the trade. So my loss in this instance is only $1,250, okay? And this is how the trade works over time, by the way. The gain and the loss are similar. You're not going to have a $1,250 gain and a $5,000 loss. This trade over the course of the last 8 years averages out to an even win and an even loss. Now, you might be asking, where does that money actually come from? You know, I show you $2,500, I show you $2 signs. Where does that money actually come from? Well, here's how it works. When you sell an option, or in this case, a put, okay, you're going to receive more money for the put that you sold than it costs to buy the insurance. In other words, you receive money to place this trade. Now, remember, they are entered on the same order. The newly created spread's price is the net of the two individual legs of the spread. So let's put some numbers to it again. Let's say when I enter the trade and I sold the put, I collected $3,500. Buying the insurance cost me $1,000. The net of that is I collect $2,500 when I open the trade. Now, again, remember that $2,500 isn't like when you sell a car and you sign the title over and you collect the money and go home, right? When you sell an option, you're going to be in that trade. It's going to change. It's going to go up in price, down in price. Until you exit the trade, that's when you get to actually keep some of that money. So let's say that the SPX index moves higher. How does that affect this trade? Here's what's going to happen. If the trade moves higher, both of the prices of your options are going to fall, okay? The one that you sold for $3,500, now that option's trading for $1,750. That's good. You're making money on that one. On the downside, the option that you bought as insurance, you paid $1,000 for, now it's only worth $500. But that's okay. Because when you do the net of both of those, that spread now only is worth $1,250. So the price of the option you sold collapsing in price like it has puts money in your pocket. Yes, you're going to lose a little bit on the insurance leg. Don't think that you can't do the insurance leg. The insurance leg is important. It's part of hedging your bets. It's part of keeping the trade low risk. So yes, you're going to take a loss on that insurance leg. It's okay. So when the trade works, you're going to collect that $2,500 when you enter the trade, and you're going to pay the broker back $1,250 of that when you exit. You're going to keep the $1,250 on that position. Now, a bearish trade, again, same idea. You receive more money for the call you sell than it costs to buy the insurance. So again, in other words, you're going to receive money to place this trade. And again, remember, these are entered on the same order. So you're never going to be like naked short an option or anything crazy like that for those of you that understand option terms. This newly created spread price is the net of the two individual legs of the trade. So let's take a look. I sell a call, I collect $5,000. I buy a call and I have to pay for the insurance of $2,000. Well, again, the net of that is I collect $3,000 when I enter the trade. If the market goes down, as the trend would indicate at that time, the prices of both of those options drop. When the price of the option I sold goes from $5,000 to $2,500, that means I make money. When the price of the option I bought goes from $2,000 to $1,000, unfortunately, I lost money on that guy. But again, the net of that transaction is now $1,500. Okay? When I enter the trade, I collected $3,000. When I exit the trade, I pay back of $1,500 and I get to keep the $1,500. Okay? So that's the nuts and bolts of how a credit spread actually works. Now, what you just looked at is the first part of what you would learn during the income challenge. So as you can see, there's more steps for us to cover, such as how you control your risk, what to trade, when to trade, how you set it up, how do you manage risk. You know, I know there's all kinds of questions about where do you sell the option and why do you take profits and all that kind of stuff. That's part of the curriculum. So we're going to, of course, go over how to enter that trade as well. Now let's talk about how to get started. We put together the Investing Income Challenge to help you place your first of many income trades. Here's how we're going to do it. As soon as you register, you're going to receive immediate access to a series of training videos which walk you through the trade. We're also next week going to hold live training sessions each day for 4 days. Okay? The live sessions take no more than an hour each. Now, as we talked about, the first half is dedicated to training. The second half is for Q&A. Then the following Monday, October 2nd, we are going to place a live trade with you. You can follow us along click by click. Now, plus, as an extra bonus, after you place your first trade, we're going to continue to work with you during the month of October. Each Monday, we're going to walk you through setting up a live income trade, okay? And at the end of the week, we'll make sure you're still on track. We'll check in with you, answer your questions, talk about the trade, and just, again, make sure that you're still on track. You're doing everything that you need to. So here's the opportunity in front of you. If you're ready for this challenge, it's only $295, and I'll take you by the hand and have you placing your first income trade in only about a week and a half. So all you got to do is go to vectorvest.com/join challenge now. And we'll put that link in the chat box for you. All you got to do is click on it. Together, we're going to do this. Now, here's a guarantee for you. As I told you earlier, I've been doing variation of this trade for 15 years. I still do it every single week, by the way. I have a bear call on right now, a bearish trade because the market's in a downtrend. All right? I think I still have a bearish trade on, only because the market moved pretty good today after the whole Fed thing. We believe so much that you will love this income system and you'll easily complete the challenge that we offer a 100% money back guarantee. You can go through the entire challenge, and if you're not satisfied, you can get your money back. It's completely no risk. The only thing is you got to show that you've done the work and give it your best effort. We only want people to join the challenge if they're serious and excited to get started. So we hope that you're one of those. Now, we've worked with so many different people over the years who come to us with a variety of experience in the past. Here's just a handful. When Jim came to us, he was inconsistent and unsatisfied with the results, but he learned the system and his first 21 trades were winners. Mike, when he came to us, he said he often got to the point where he gave up, but then learned the system and made 12 grand in his first 4 months. Mark had no experience at all with income trade we taught him, but after only an hour, he was able to place his first trade by himself the next day in just 10 minutes. And again, Brian even showed his daughter how to place this income trade. She never invested before in her life. She was able to take notes from her spiral bound notebook and place the trades by herself using Brian's account. So during the income challenge, Okay. We actually had some feedback on Facebook, and Gordon successfully traded the challenge of learning the trade. He said, just want to thank Ron for teaching me a method to create monthly income. I'm new to options trading and wish I took the course sooner, but let fear of options stop me. I finished the course and have managed to make 3% on my trades for the month of July. Okay. We get posts like this all the time. Dan said he got a notification from Thinkorswim that the trade exited with profits. He says another win following Ron's teachings. Both Terry and Knighton were also had their trade closed at profits. Me too. Now, Nav posted that he started paper trading and so far had 75% winning trades with an average profit of 575. Now, a couple of important notes here. 65% is the baseline of probability, but it can be even greater than that since we teach kind of a secret weapon. We're going to teach you how to use market direction to increase your probability. You know, for example, Varney said he had 18 out of 20 successful trades. That's a 90% winning rate. The cool thing about this type of strategy is you're going to rattle off successful trades like this. That's the beauty about stacking probability. Okay? Here I posted the trade closed, and once again, others joined the conversation. Bruce said he made $4,600 in his trade. So you can scale this trade up, you can scale it down depending on the size of your account. All these people we looked at today are not professionals. They're not financial advisors. They're not money managers. They're ordinary people like you and me. Some had no experience at all. So I want to show you last year in our live trading account that I use with my clients. I was up $13,000 for the year of 2022 with a 53% win rate. Last year, my win rate was a little bit below average. However, these results are based on a $50,000 account. 26% return last year. The S&P dropped 19% during that same period. Now, you can also see that for the most part, you're making consistent gains every month. The important thing is the consistency. There's not wild swings up and wild swings down. That's the beauty. Take a look here. Out of last year, I made money in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months out of 12. Look at my losing months. $2,700 loser in April after a really good series of January, February, and March. I had a good May and June, drew down about $1,200 in July, made a little bit of money in August, a little bit of money in September, lost a little bit in October, a little bit in November, and finished out the year with a decent gain right there. This is how a real trading strategy works, okay? You know, one of the things that you have to understand is this, and let me just draw a little line for you. You are not, as much as I wish I could do this for you, you are not going to make money like that. That's impossible. And by the way, if you don't see that, let me redo it. When you have a trading strategy, it's not going to do this. It doesn't work that way. If somebody shows you that their results have never lose, let me tell you something. Let me save the bad words here, but you kind of know where I'm going with that. Right? It's kind of interesting. I met with one of my colleagues, my former colleagues, last weekend, and she was telling me about an option system that they were touting was like 99% right. And I was talking to her about it. I'm like, that's not going to sustain. And she told me last week, she's like, hey, remember that options thing? Oh yeah, they totally blew out their accounts. I'm like, of course it does, because they were trying to make a 10 cents on every winner and like lose a buck. This isn't going to work that way. This is what real trades look like. January, February, March. Drawdown in April. May and June, more profits. A little bit of drawdown in July. August and September, make a little bit more money. October, November, a little bit of drawdown. December, you make money again. Okay? This is what a real trading strategy looks like. Okay, it's not just some sales pitch. This is reality. If you want income, this is a trade to learn. It's as simple as that. So let me ask you again, are you up for the challenge? Let me know. If you're up for the challenge, give me a big yes in the chat box. Give me a big yes. Hopefully I didn't break my computer. Andre, you were first. Yes. I see yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Rick and Carrie. Michael, I love it. Michael, again, there's 2 Michaels in here. So yes, yes, yes. Now, I want you to think about this. The main goal is to make consistent, meaningful income. Is it achievable? The answer is definitely yes. You've seen us do that in real trading. Our test results show that, as well as our client testimonials over the last several years since we started teaching this. What is the likelihood that you'll achieve your goal? The answer to that is high. We've seen many people succeed, some of whom have no prior options experience. What about the effort? The effort's low. There's not a lot of work involved to learn and place this trade. What about sacrifice? That too is low. At first, you're dedicating about an hour a day for a week. And you're doing that to gain an income system to use for the rest of your life. Well, what about the risk? The risk is low. First, the investment is only $295. Plus, you have a money back guarantee. Additionally, the trade you learn is set up in a way that any losing trade has minimal risk. Now, what about the time commitment? That too is also low. There'll be some time dedicated to learn the system. Yeah, spend some time doing that. But even that's only about an hour per day for a week. And after that, you're looking at about 15 minutes per week. So at this point, you have a choice. Number one, you can do nothing, stay exactly where you are right now. Or number two, you can learn to generate income now. Of course, you can try to do it alone. And if you're willing to work hard and spend hours in front of your computer and you're willing to learn by trial and error, you might be able to pull that off. Or you can let us guide you during the challenge. Let us show you the system to do it, and we'll walk you through each part of the system. I want you to go out there and circle October 2nd on your calendar. Will you watch that day come and go like so many people, or will you be among those who remember that day as the very first day they placed an income trade? And you got to ask yourself, what will it cost you not to do this? You know, earlier we looked at the serious money that can be made. Would you exchange $295 one time right now to get that number each year? So if the answer is yes, go to VectorVest.com/join challenge, and I want you to get registered today. The $295 special is only available until Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Then the price increases to $495, which is still a tremendous deal. Registration for the challenge is only open until Monday, so get signed up right now. Go to VectorVest.com/join challenge. That way, by the way, if you're an alumni of the Options Paycheck course, you can register for this challenge for only $95. We'll send you a private link via email, or you can just let us know in the chat. Now, if you know this is right for you and you're joining me in the challenge, just type 2 words in the chat box. I'm in. We'd love to welcome you to the class by name. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring in my colleague, Brian. Brian's the one that taught his 14-year-old daughter how to do this, and I taught Brian how to do this. Brian wasn't 14 at the time, though. So I'm going to bring Brian in, and we're going to answer any questions that you may have before you get signed up.
All right, fantastic, Ron. We do have a bunch of people, like you said, that says, yes, I'm in. So welcome to all of you. The email should be in your inbox. If you've already placed your order, check your inbox, or if you see it in your junk folder, just mark it as not junk. It'll have all the details in there. You could actually start going through the training tonight. I mean, who knows? Maybe you could go through all the training tonight and be ready to place your first trade later this week, or like we do on Monday. But if you want to wait for Ron's training, that'll be next week. So check your email for that. Welcome to all of you. We do have a bunch of people who are also Options Paycheck alumni who are here. So Ron, like Ron just said, that you get it for a discount. Now, I personally don't have a way to pull up your account here on this webinar. So I would just ask that it either check your email for that'll have a discount link, or just call our office. And if you're an Options Paycheck alumni and you want to get it for that discount, if you just call that phone number on the screen and you say, hey, I'd like to do this income challenge. I'd like to do this for $95, and they'll pull up your account, verify, and get you going. All right. Okay. So Ron, we did there's a few questions in here, and we'll try to go through them one by one. If you are ready, are you ready, Ron?
I am ready. All
right. Fantastic. So the first one is, what level of VectorVest software is required? Like, do they need some high-powered Options Pro software to do this? And that question is from Dan.
No, you honestly don't even need VectorVest for this. Your broker is plenty. Thinkorswim, Fidelity, really just need a brokerage account. That's all you need.
All right. So Dan, there you go. If you do have more questions, Dan, just let us know in the chat. Now we have a question from Pamela, who's one of our great coaching clients. She comes to our coaching each week. Pamela is from Canada. Wants to know, well, she says, is there a course for the Canadian market? So maybe you could describe this trade and how it relates. Can Canadians do this trade? Is there another trade that they could do, or is this kind of the trade that you would recommend for Canadians? Maybe you could touch on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not anything that I've tested specifically for the Canadian market, but we do have a lot of Canadian clients that do trade this as well. So, as long as you have an account that you can trade, US indexes, it'll work fine. A lot of our Canadian clients do this trade too.
All right, fantastic. Michael says that's the reason I'm doing the SPX trades is because it doesn't require the Options Pro software. Michael happens to be a VectorVest subscriber, though. He uses kind of the base tools in VectorVest for his investing, but he says, yeah, I like doing the SPX. All right. I did see a comment come in on the YouTube channel from KJ. Yeah, the full challenge today, Ron gave you the basics of how it works, how the trade works. But if you want to go through the full challenge with us, yep, it's $295 to go through it. If you go through the whole thing and then you're like, you know what, I'd like to get my money back, we do honor that as well. We don't know why you would, because this is teaching an income stream for the rest of your life. But if you do, you could. But that the $295 includes all the recorded training that we put together, so you can actually go through all the training modules tonight if you wanted to. And if you do want to come to our live training, Ron is holding that all next week. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then a live trade on Monday. And then we're basically holding your hand for 4 weeks. Monday and Friday, right, Ron? Monday, Friday, Monday, Friday?
Yep.
So a lot of live training. So if you think about it, $295 for basically, 4, 5, 8, 9 live sessions with an expert. So it's actually pretty good. All right. Warren says, I took the Options Jump Starter course, which here at VectorVest, for those of you who don't know, VectorVest, we have several courses that we have available, and the Options Jump Starters, a beginner course on getting introduced to options, but also teaching a system on buying calls and buying puts for profit during up markets or down markets. And so Warren wants to know, if he took the Options Jump Starter course, does this course build on that, or is this more of like its own standalone thing?
Well, it's a combination. It definitely will build upon it because it's just a new option strategy that you can do, but it's also standalone. You can just take this and you learn a good strategy of being an option credit spread trader. So I guess it's a little bit of both, but you don't need the first one to do this. This is a self-contained unit that just teaches you the trade exactly how you'll need to do it.
All right, some great questions. I got one from Mark, we got from Ahmed and KJ, and so we have a few others. So we're going to try to hit them all, everybody. We got, since I said Mark first, he says, I don't currently subscribe to the real-time version of VectorVest. Is it necessary to have real-time VectorVest for the trades you'll be working on in this challenge?
No, again, you don't have to have any version of VectorVest. You just use your broker. VectorVest is not required.
All right, next up, I am going to go over to Ahmed, who's listening in on our YouTube stream. Ahmed says, for how long would I have access to the live training or trading sessions?
And that's 1 year, correct?
Well, I just wanted to, let's be clear. So he has access to the live sessions for you for the, maybe if you, do you have that calendar? We can just show
yeah. You have access to, you're going to have 1 month of access to live training. So I'm not going to be like trade. I'm going to get that slide back up here in just a second. Yeah, you're going to have like the month of October every Monday for live training with me and live trading, but that's just the month of October. You have access to the recordings for a while, but not the live sessions.
Cool. Thanks for the clarity. So 1 year access to the recordings of everything in the challenge, but like Ron just mentioned, they have the live trading in October. So that was Ahmed. And KJ has a great question. He's also listening in on the YouTube stream. He says, how much do I need to invest, or how much do I need in my trading account in order to do this?
You can have as little as $5,000. $5,000 will allow you to trade one contract of the S&P. So $5,000 is all you need.
All right. Let's see. That looks to be, let me just reread Roxana's question. Do I need a minimum account balance to trade the SPX? She also says, can I trade the SPY instead?
Well, I mean, you can, but there's really no reason to. There's a lot of more advantages of trading the SPX over the SPY by quite a bit. So could you do it? Sure, but honestly, there's no real reason to do it.
All right, Mark just wanted to double check. He says, are you using any of the VectorVest proprietary indicators for the trades?
No, I mean, we'll show you how you can use VectorVest for market timing, but I'm also going to show you how to use just the regular graph of the S&P for market timing too. So there's no need for VectorVest to do this.
All right, next up, in fact, Jim was one of your testimonials that you showed there. I believe Jim is actually one of the gentlemen who had I think it was 21 straight winners or something like that, and he was using just his broker, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Natalie typed into the chat box, says, I purchased, I'm excited, and put like was it 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 exclamation points at the end. So welcome aboard, Natalie. I love the excitement. Donna, this is a continuation on the Canadian question, but I'm also going to add in a retirement aspect to this. Donna says, can the trades be made within my TFSA account? So maybe you can answer that one. And also, can it be done in just a regular, like a US retirement account?
So to the Canadian one, I don't exactly know the specific acronym, but there is like a RRSP or something that you cannot do these trades in. Double check with your broker as far as Canada goes, but I know there is one retirement account that you can't do this trade in Canada. As far as the US, yes, as long as your retirement account is set up, like I have an IRA, I'll actually show you this account. I'll place a trade on Monday in Fidelity, and it's in my rollover IRA account that I do this in. And I also have a regular trading account I do it in as well. So I'll show you both aspects of that. But yeah, you can definitely do it in an IRA here in the US.
And Michael, who's taken your options paycheck course, and he's also taken our retirement course, he said he does only the SPX. He says, I only trade in my Roth IRAs. So there you go. Yep. All right, Ron, let's put the link back up there. So everybody, if you want to join, it's vectorvest.com/join challenge. If you are an alumni of our paycheck course, there's an options paycheck course. That'll get you an even further discount. It's $95. For that, we ask you to call that phone number on the screen and just tell our representative that you are an alumni of the options paycheck course. Or you can go to vectorvest.com/join challenge and get in for the discounted rate of $295. A couple of items. $295 is only good. We're going to run that through tomorrow evening, and then it'll go up to $495. And the $495 will only be good for a few days, and registration then closes early next week. I believe, let me just pull it back up here. I believe it's Monday of next week. Let me just double check. Registration closes, Monday at 5 o'clock. That's because Ron's training starts with you on Tuesday. Okay, so those are some deadlines for you in case you were curious. Back to the questions, Ron. So we have a question from John. He says, is there guidance in the course on whether a bull trade or a bear trade is more appropriate?
Definitely. We work out market timing with you in market direction. So you'll have a very easy, it's a yes or no answer to whether you place a bullish or bearish trade. Yep.
And Michael says, just follow the trend.
Yep.
As easy as that. Janice, I can answer this one. It says, which course qualifies you for the $95 discount? That would be if you took the options paycheck course. All right. And if you don't know if you took that course, you could just call the phone number there on the screen, and somebody could pull up your account and double check for you and help you out. If not, just think about it. It's not that big of a difference between $95 and $295, especially with inflation these days, right? You can It's the difference between going to McDonald's and just a restaurant, right? Anyway, spend like $40 at McDonald's, or 50 something like dollars for a family now at McDonald's.
Oh man, it's like 35, 40 bucks. We go there every now and then too. It's just, I don't know. It's like when you used to go to Taco Bell when you were in college and it was like 10 bucks. Now it's like 25.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I've heard.
All right, let's see. Jag says, I just signed up. So first off, welcome, Jag. Jag says, I got the welcome email. All right, perfect. The course doesn't show up as available. What I would ask you to do, Jag, and this goes for everybody who purchased, sometimes our system actually requires you to sign out and then sign back in. So if you're in, we have an educational site called university.vectorvest.com. That's where the course will appear. So when you go to the university, just sign out and then sign back in. You might, I don't know if you have to close the browser and then do it again, but I'm pretty sure you just have to sign out and then sign back in. All right. Next up, let me just double check. John says there's a holiday on October 9th. That might be, we don't have a holiday here in the States on October 9th. Is it? Right, Ron? That's not, we don't have a day that closes. I don't see that as a day that closes the stock market. So we'll be still doing the training then. I know Donna says it's a Canadian holiday.
Okay, so the U.S. markets will be open.
Yep. Says Columbus Day. Yeah, so the markets are open. So we're open, and since the U.S. market is open, we're going to be placing the trade. All of our coaching clients will be like, what's going on? I'm supposed to place the trade every Monday. Now, just so you know, you don't have to do it on Monday. We just happen to do it on Mondays. Ron, I guess that's another question. Ron, what if they miss a Monday? Can they place the trade on a Tuesday?
Yeah, you can place these trades any day, I should say. So yeah, I mean, like this week, right? I placed a bear call trade on Monday, like I always do. I always place mine on Monday. And I had some clients say, you know what, Ron, I think I'm just going to wait till after the Fed meeting this week and place it on Thursday. That's fine too. Whenever day you have available to you, I do my trades on Monday because that's the schedule I have with my clients. But yeah, place it any day you want to. It doesn't matter. I'll make sure that you know what expirations to use and all that kind of stuff, depending on what day you're using.
All right, Roxana says, is this the same as the SPX paychecks that's in my option paycheck course? All right, well, it depends on when you purchased it. So, if you purchased our new options paycheck experience, the SPX bonus, this training will be as your SPX bonus. All right, now if you've taken the options paycheck course more than a year ago, then you don't have the course anymore in there anyway. But if you took our original options paycheck course, this training would be new for you. It's a revised version. Ron tweaked some things, and we teach it in a new way. But if you took the options paycheck course, let's say 2 months ago, then the training for you is actually in your options paycheck course material in the bonus area. Okay. Let me know, Roxana, excuse me, if that helped you out. Fee, do you do credit spread trading monthly? Well, actually, Ron, you do it weekly, don't you?
Yes, I do. I do it weekly.
Michael's like, I took the class in February, March. I really hope Ron liked us.
You know, this entire, and I'm not lying, this entire year has been a really good options paycheck year. There are classes occasionally, I won't mention what class last year, but there are some classes that really I always say about my kids sometimes where they suck the life force out of you. but 2023 has been a very good options paycheck year.
All right. Let me ask you in the chat, if I missed a question, because sometimes questions scroll off of the screen. If I missed your question, in the chat, can you please just copy and paste it again, especially if you typed it in a while back, just copy and paste it in again. We want to make sure we answer your question before you head out. We don't want you to think that we are ignoring you. But while you do that and type in your question, we'll try to give you another minute or two to get your questions in. I'll just remind you once again, the deadline for the $295 discount is, that's going to run until tomorrow. around 6 o'clock ish Eastern time, and then it goes up to $4.95, and it'll stay $4.95 until Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern, and then registration closes and nobody can get in. Okay. The list price of this course is $995. So elite pricing is like half of that. So this is actually lower than any kind of elite price would be for this course. So if you were to see this course in the catalog sometime throughout the year, the list price is $995. So the $295 is, we like to give a special discount during these webinars, since you just kind of sat through this past hour with us as a little bonus. All right. Looking at the chat, I think Roxana says, yes, thank you. That answered my question. And okay, so you still have a couple weeks access left on your options paycheck course. So you must have taken it last year. So yep, it says I better get back to it. Yep, go get in there and check it out. All right, so Ron, I gave people enough time to copy and paste some questions in. I think that wraps us up for tonight. So I'm just going to pass it over to you to say any kind of final welcomes or whatever you want to say, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you, Brian, and thank all of you for spending this last hour with me. I appreciate it. This is an exciting thing for me. I love, just really narrowing the whole idea of trading high probability trades down to like one thing that I can teach you, because it's got such a quick and immediate impact. So for those of you that signed up, I'm really looking forward to doing this challenge with you. We're gonna have a fun time here in the next like 4 or 5 weeks with the live trading and all that. So it's gonna be a great time. I promise you that it's something that you're gonna do and you're gonna be able to accomplish very, very quickly. So thank you again for spending this last hour with me. I appreciate it. And I hope to see all of you next week in the Income Challenge. So thanks once again, and we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.